Good evening. Welcome to Soft Tip Central UK. I'm Dan, and joining me this evening we have Swedish international darts player Daniel Larsson. Good evening, Daniel. How are you?
Hi, Dan. Thanks. I'm very fine. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Looking forward to getting these out of the packaging at some point in the near future. These are your new signature darts from Shot that we'll be reviewing on the channel. I hear they come out at the beginning of next month.
Yeah, 1st of September, they said to me.
Brilliant. So what sort of went into the process of that? Was it sort of very in depth? Was it something that you had a lot of dealings with, or were you guided a lot in your signature barrel?
Actually, it's very different from the barrel I used before. So they made big changes for me that it feels like it will be very useful for me. The grip is much better. I got a lot of darts that just slips away.
Yeah.
I don't feel it like these darts will do that. And these are also like middle balanced. The old ones were heavy in the front, so they tend to like dip into
so they
the
go
board.
into the dart at an angle. Are these going in a lot straighter?
Much straighter.
That's a massive enhancement on a game, to be able to sort of then aim for the flight as opposed to aiming for another barrel. You can then sort of pitch where you're aiming your second and third dart when the dart goes into the board straighter. So that's going to massively help you, I'd imagine.
I think so. It feels very good to practice because I haven't played so many real games because of the virus, of course, and but practice feels very good.
Awesome. Practice makes perfect, and at the end of the day, you've got to get used to them just as much as you've got to. I mean, you've all had to adjust in these situations and the current climate that we're in. Hence the reason why soft tip in the UK has seemed to have made a big rise. Now, I know that's not so much of a big game in Sweden. There's not a lot of soft tip around, but I know you played steel tip from quite a young age, and it was quite a funny story as to how it all came about. So how did it all come about with your sort of introduction into sort of the darts world and steel tip darts?
Well, I started when I was 11, and I come from a very small village, and nothing really happens there. But when something happens, everyone wants to do it. And the community house, they had the basement was in a bad shape, and they like redecorated it, and they were about to put it to a karate club. And a guy was moving to our village from a city 200 kilometers away, and we were so excited to start with karate because he should have classes from maybe 10 years up to 30, I think. But when this guy was coming to the village, and he should come to the village, he never showed up. So they have made a bad basement very good, and it was just standing there, and they didn't know what to do. Then the chef at the local inn, he asked if he could put some dartboards there, just so the kids could have something to do. And he started with 3 boards, and I think we were like 30 guys there, all the way from my age up to 50 years, I think. And we were playing every night. So after a month or two, then he put up 6 or 7 more boards there. So then it was a dart club for at least 5 years there.
Oh, awesome. That's a really cool story. How sort of something that could have ended really badly and could have been really disappointing for everybody just turned a complete corner and ended up becoming sort of something that's now paved a way for you to become a professional dart player and be a well-renowned sportsman, possibly worldwide very, very soon. Because obviously you've got the World Series coming up, haven't you? You've got the qualifiers, I believe.
Yeah, the qualifiers in Hildesheim, the 11th of September. And well, I hope to do well there and qualify, of course.
Awesome. So so with the qualifiers that you're entering into, is that quite a long process, or is it quite a short format? Is it sort of over and done with within a day, or is it a whole week thing, or is it a weekend?
It's just one day and one tournament, and I think it's two spots available, if I remember right. And after that, it's 5 days of Pro Tours in Hildesheim. So we're going to play for 6 days there.
Awesome. So is that sort of some Players Championship events over there? Is that the autumn series?
Yeah, the autumn series, yes.
Awesome. Brilliant. And then obviously, fingers crossed, if you nail that one, that'll be the World Series in Salzburg over in Austria.
Yeah.
So obviously, we've interviewed a couple of players on the stream. We interviewed Keane Bradley and also Jeff Smith, who is actually one of the invitationals for the World Series. So it'd be really interesting to sort of pit your wits against him, because there's some really phenomenal players there. And obviously, with Sweden being one of sort of, how can I say, one of the younger countries to be playing the sport, it must be a real honour for you to have the opportunity to pit your wits against the big boys in the World Series.
Yeah, it would be really good, and I think it would be good for darts in Sweden as well. Since I got the tour card, a lot of players are very interested in how I'm doing, and they are cheering for me. So it's very nice. The media has not given me any attention yet, but hopefully that will soon break as well in Sweden.
Not all media comes with a newspaper, buddy. We're here. We're Soft Tip Central UK. We'll fight your corner for you. We'll get your name out there. But no, I mean, obviously, so you've just recently signed to Shot. That must have been an awesome experience for you. Obviously, those new barrels are coming out at the beginning of September. So what made you choose Shot? What did they approach you, or did you approach them, or how did it go about? How did the whole sort of signing happen?
They took the first step. It was Max Hopp who recommended them to contact me, and then we had a lot of discussions. And for me, from the beginning, it felt really, really good. They were what you say. They were very professional, but at the same time relaxed. So it's more or less like a family from the beginning. So
yeah,
I think I'm in the right place.
And it felt right. It clicked.
Yeah, directly.
Awesome. That's brilliant. So obviously you've been playing from sort of a young age, from about 11. When did you realize that you could make it pro? I mean, everybody has that sort of epiphany moment where they think to yourself, hold on a minute, I could actually make this work. So what point did you say, do you know what, I'm going to go for this?
I don't know. I've been playing top level darts in Sweden for at least 20 years. And I played for the national team for like every tournament for 15 years. I played against the best players in BDO, WDF for many years. I believe in myself, and I think I could have taken a step a couple of years ago if I of course I wanted, but it didn't really fit in my life.
Yeah,
actually, it actually doesn't fit in my life at the moment as well, with two small kids. But I have a really good girlfriend who helps me a lot, so we can manage it.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing. A lot of people, when they see you guys on the TV, they see you throwing darts and they think that that's all they do. That's all they do. They just throw darts all day long, but they don't realise that behind the scenes, you're just normal people that live normal lives and have normal families. You still got to deal with the kids that won't go to bed at 7 o'clock because they want to stay up and they're overexcited. And you've got to sort of fit this entire package into doing something that is actually very time consuming, being able to focus on the game and to focus on your family as well. And I have a lot of respect for people like yourself that do that. I mean, you look at Rob Cross this week, he's just had another baby. So he's now got a newborn baby to deal with as well as going and doing sort of like the autumn series, the World Series, playing in all of these sort of high-level Order of Merit tournaments, but he's got a newborn baby at home. So do you find it hard sometimes having to break away from your family to go and do these tour events?
Yeah, it's very, very hard. But as I said, Frida, my girlfriend, she helps me a lot. So, but we have to plan a lot, and I have my own business as well. I can do a lot of work from the computer, so I work at the evenings when I'm at the hotel. So it's possible to make it work, but it's hard.
Just finding the balance is what you need to do. And it sounds like you have an amazing support circle around you, obviously with your girlfriend and everybody that's involved in your life, giving you this support and this encouragement to make it and to push you further and harder. So obviously you played some really, really, really good darts, played against some of the best in the world, and you've had some quite standout performances. So for you, what was your most memorable win? What was the one that you think, yes, that's going to stick with me forever? I'll never forget that moment.
I think when I beat Robert Thornton at Ali Pali, I think that's my top performance at the moment.
So you're going to emulate that this year?
Yeah, I hope so.
With these new darts, this could be the key. This could be what unlocks it all. And then obviously, so you've got the World Series qualifiers coming up. You've got the Autumn Series. You've got your tour card. You're pushing in the right direction. And so obviously we're predominantly in Sweden. There isn't a soft tip game out there. And obviously we're interviewing you for Soft Tip Central UK. And obviously you brought out a soft tip dart. So, I mean, is soft tip something that you would look to sort of have a go at in the future, or did Shot bring out the soft tip dart purely because of the nature of the country that they come from? There is a lot of soft tip out there in Australia and New Zealand. Do you think that's the reason why they released the soft tip dart?
Yeah, that's why they want to do a version of soft tips. But for me, I would like to try it. I never tried soft tip. So
it's a whole different world. The segments are twice the size. The bullseye and the 25 both count for 50. So you've got a massive area to score huge points on. And it's so much more. It's more interactive. I think you've got a lot more interaction with the board. You've got a lot more interaction with your opponent. And it's just great fun. And people that take soft tip darts seriously is something that I could never take it seriously, like to a professional level. I just enjoy it too much. It's so much fun. And it'd be obviously good for the kids to play as well, because they can't hurt themselves with the darts. But I love it. It's definitely worth sort of getting yourself a soft tip board and having a play. Have a word with Shot. They should send you one so you can test out these new barrels. Obviously,
I tell them that.
Coming back to your new barrels and chatting about them, obviously I've noticed that there's a theme of a pattern of the Swedish flag and then some sort of swells. Is that your own design for those flights, or is that something that Shot have come up with?
Shot made 3 designs, and I chose the one I liked the most.
Yeah.
And I think it was all three was very good, but this one was the best one.
Yeah, it is absolutely awesome. It's just a beautiful little 3D thing with a sort of like the subtle Swedish flag in the background. I really like it. And that's the first thing that sort of jumped out at me when I saw the dart. Was the flights. They're really nice. But obviously I can't go into too much depth about these until I do the review after the 1st of September. But we will be going into depth, and I will be running my beady eye over them and having a look at them and seeing how they hold up. So, I mean, obviously, moving forwards, you've got the World Series, the World Championships at Ali Pali. Obviously, I think you've got the regionals starting in Sweden very, very soon again, I believe. The regional darts in Sweden starts up.
Yeah, it starts by 1st of September. It starts, it's the team events in Sweden. And it starts with the playoffs from last season. Okay. Our season is from September to June.
Okay. So are you looking forward to that starting again, getting back on the board, getting that competitive edge?
Yeah, very much. And have a meet up with my teammates and Yeah, have a nice time.
That's what it's all about. Because I usually play steel tip on a Friday night. We have like a little league for us in our local area, and we play sort of every Friday night. We start sort of October time and finish in May. But I've missed it so much, and since the pandemic has kicked in, how have you managed to sort of keep your routines going, keep your game sharp? Have you found it very difficult? Have you played any online darts at all?
I have played online darts for 4 or 5 years regular, so for me it's been almost the same, but without the normal tournaments.
Oh, okay. So have you played so what sort of format do you use when you play online darts?
It's different. Some tournaments and against other players for practice, so it's different every time.
Oh, nice. Because there's been a lot of them. Sort of, there's been loads of different Facebook channels that have come up, like Quarantine Darts. You had the RDL that was run by Dean Winstanley and a few other guys. So that was quite an in-depth one. I remember watching a few of those, and there's been a few sort of players that have sort of come through the ranks using those online tournaments to sort of announce themselves a bit. And obviously, did you take part in anything like that at all?
No, I did not. I play. I have only used the webcamdarts.com. So
Okay, so it's sort of like I've played WDA. I've played that a few times. I'm registered on there, but I just find it good fun just to sort of meet random people around the world. That's the same with soft tip. You can play somebody in Canada, play somebody in America, and then sort of 10 minutes later you're playing somebody that lives 100 yards down the road. It's just brilliant online community. I think with the COVID situation, how it's been, I think lockdown darts and webcam darts and soft tip has been a huge benefit to people. But I expect that on the flip side of that, it must have been nice to spend so much time with your family as well, and to just have that sort of family time.
yeah, that's that's like the only positive thing with the virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There aren't many positives, but yeah, getting to spend loads of time with your family when, because my kids have been off school now, what, 16, 18 weeks? So it's the longest summer holiday in history. But yeah, it's been nice to spend time with them. But failing that, looking forward to seeing these darts, looking forward to reviewing them. Perhaps we could catch up for a little chat, perhaps after the World Series or perhaps after the qualifiers at the beginning of next month. And we'll see how you're feeling then about your new darts, and we can talk in a bit more depth about them. But for tonight, thank you so much for coming on, Daniel. I really do appreciate you talking to us. Good luck with the rest of the year. Enjoy your new darts, because I'm sitting here looking at them now and they look absolutely phenomenal. But I can't tell anybody about them, which is really frustrating. But yeah, we'll be looking at these on the 1st of September. But failing that, thank you so much for joining us. And we look to speak to you again soon. Good luck with everything in the future. Good luck with the Players' Championships, the Autumn Series, and also good luck with your World Series qualifier. And I look forward to seeing you on the big stage up in Salzburg.
Thank you very much.
No worries. You have a lovely evening and you take care. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.